Hi there, this is Spencer Campbell of Gila RPGs, and in this video I'm going to be telling you a little bit about my upcoming TTRPG, Luna. In Luna, you play as moon-worshipping cultists attempting to corrupt and overthrow a city, all underneath a sunless sky. The game takes place in the Novaverse, the setting of the Nova TTRPG. Instead of playing as the defenders of humanity, you take on the role of one of the enemy factions, the Lunar Cult. If this is your first time delving into the Novaverse, don't worry. The game tells you everything that you need to know about the setting. And if you're a lore nerd like me, you can click the button on the screen and check out my ongoing lore video series for the setting. In Luna, the sun exploded a long time ago, leaving the planet Oberon in an eternal night. Humanity has rebuilt around the pieces of the sun that have planted themselves in the planet's surface. But there are some who see the sun's death as an indication of its weakness. The moon still hangs in the sky, and so massive cults have formed around its worship. You are members of one such cult. Luna is designed to be played between 1 and 5 sessions. The goal of the players is to cast a great ritual that will transform a sun shard into powerful moonstone, claiming this city as their own. They will need to be subtle about it, infiltrating and sabotaging the city across sessions, until the final ritual is ready to be completed. The game is a perfect length for a short campaign or a tense one-shot. Luna is a Sparked by Resistance game, using the resistance system made famous in other RPGs such as Spire and Heart. The game uses a modified version of the system, simplifying and streamlining the process to keep the action going, resolving dice rolls quickly while building up the tension for the players. Each player is a member of the Lunar Cult, represented by one of 4 classes. These classes give the players powerful abilities that they can call on during play, using powerful moon-fueled magic to help bring about the city's ruin. The Shade is a subtle manipulator, moving between the shadows and pulling the strings of the city. The Beacon harnesses the power of Moonstone, using pieces of the powerful material to empower their fellow cultists. The Scythe is augmented with powerful cybernetics and weaponry to cut down anyone who would dare interrupt the ritual. And finally, the Chisel helps bind the powers of the cult together, drawing arcane sigils and glyphs on surfaces to bring about the moon's influence. During play, whenever a character attempts a risky action, they roll to see how it turns out. Luna uses a d6 dice pool system. When a player rolls, they start with 1d6 and then add in an additional dice based on their expertise, represented by a list of skills and domains the character might be trained in. After rolling all their dice, they look at the highest value, and that determines the success of their action. Let's take a look at an example. Sam is playing a beacon, and he's attempting to leave a small moonstone in the pocket of a spark pilot, allowing him to spy on the pilot and learn about the spark's movements in the city. Sam's character starts with 1d6 and looks to see if he has a skill or a domain relevant to this action. He has the sneak skill, which gives him another die. If he had the spark domain, he'd have a 3rd die, but his character doesn't have that. So Sam rolls his 2d6, using the highest result to determine his success, and he gets a 4. That's a success, with a complication of some kind. It looks like a passerby might have noticed him slip the stone onto the pilot, something stressful that he'll have to deal with in the future. Throughout play, characters will accumulate stress. This represents the strain accrued through the subtle sabotage and outright conflict the cultists will find themselves in. After determining if an action succeeds with the highest die of a roll, that die is compared to the cultist's current stress. If the die is equal to or lower than their current amount of stress, they take on a fallout, which is a major narrative complication that they have to deal with. The more stressed a character is, the more likely they are to take on fallout. If we were to look at the previous example, Sam's Beacon had rolled a 4 as their highest roll. If, for example, their Umbra stress track had 3 on it, then Sam's Beacon would be in the clear. They don't take on fallout yet. But if they had rolled a 3 as their highest roll, then, well, not only is there the consequence of the passerby, but an even bigger narrative consequence is coming Sam's way. Fallout and stress can be relieved throughout play in a number of different ways. The cultists will need to manage the stress of their characters while also pushing forward their agenda of advancing this great ritual. Every campaign of Luna centers around completing the final ritual that will bring doom and ruin to this city. What that ritual looks like will differ with each table. However, the rituals of corruption require a number of steps that must be accomplished in order to pull it off. You'll find a list of requirements for the ritual in the book. Depending on the campaign length your group has agreed on, some of these requirements might already be taken care of. With the time that you have left, you must make the necessary steps to prepare the final rite. A typical session of Luna is focused on accomplishing one of these requirements. When the final requirement is complete, the ritual is ready to be cast, and your game can come to an exciting conclusion. Luna is crowdfunding on Kickstarter very soon. You can find the link to the campaign down below. And if you're watching this and the campaign has passed, don't worry, you'll find links to grab your own copy of the game digitally and physically down in the description. Thanks for watching!